My wife, when I told her I'm coming, she made brownies.
Very nice, beautiful.
Nothing cooked in the brownies, Yaakov. Regular brownies.
Parma.
Yes, parma.
Not just parma. He meant something else. You're not going to get
Ellie, you think I didn't know what he meant? Ellie. Open this up. It's old. It's already out of fashion. Okay, fine. So I'll be for round two.
Don't
listen to this. Hey guys, everyone get settled. I hope you have something good for recording. This is something I don't know if you're
I want, I'll sit on your head.
Well, listen, I want everyone to go to email.
Well,
I want everyone to go to email. Well, which one are you doing on Shabbat, you know?
Shabbat. That's right. We have to have a taste of Cholent.
I was away for a week and it felt like a much longer time, okay? The amount of people that come into this house and learn, okay, randomly, is something that I miss very much, and it's a shame that when I leave, it has to have, I have to go and I'm changing.
It's not so random.
It's getting
Someone have a birthday this week?
Yeah, what is that?
Is
that for us?
No, I'm just saying, it's right here.
Open them up. Hey, open them up. Alright, so.
Bencha, you can start now.
Daniel told me about you,
Dennis.
and then I looked for you on Facebook and I saw the share.
Very nice.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
See,
Facebook. See, Yaakov, I told you Facebook.
Oh, it's
Getting grown, big, everything.
So look, go to Gimel on Mishpatim, pay Tet, Tav, Lamed, Het.
Is there a
Talah. Now look, we know when a person. By the way, this class is dedicated, and they flashed them up as something very important, close to my family.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, the name is tonight's class that is learning for the first shift and the second shift of the class for the Fashma B'Rahel Bat Haya. Zera Shimshon gives a promise that anybody that learns this Torah will see Yeshuot. So if anyone has problems, learn Zera Shimshon. It's just simple as that. So B'ezrat Hashem, this should be a zechut for her, and she should have a refuah shelema.
Also, could you add a lady today that spoke to me in Jerusalem? That's
Yes,
next Thursday.
Yes.
She's having an operation to cut out a bad thing from her.
What's her name?
Galit.
Galit.
But Neta.
Galit Bat Neta. She should have a refuah shelema. She should have an easy surgery.
Amen.
Anyone else?
Tilo with the bas masha, Baruch is ben masha.
Right. Okay. When go to Gimel. So look, when a person steals and gets caught, okay, and he doesn't have the money to pay, what happens to him? What happens to him? He's a slave. How long is he a slave for? 6 years. What happens after 6 years?
Free now.
Goes free. Well, he has an option. He either goes free or
Come till the Yovel where he pokes his ear.
right. Well, not poke. I don't know if poke is the right word to use. I poke. You pierce. You pierce the ear.
And then he leaves in the Yovel.
On a doorpost.
And he lives in your veil. 50 years later, whatever that number is, he's free.
It'll be 3 years.
The Rashi writes, what is the reason that we yank him in the ear? Why in the ear dafka? Because the ear that heard Lo Tignov by Har Sinai, right, is the same one. That's the ear that should get hit because that's what came in. Yeah. V'halav v'ganav teratza. He's the one that's the part that should get hit. Is it working?
I think so.
I don't like when you say that. It makes me
It's working. Picking up, yeah.
It was working before.
All right, it's fine. If it's working, it's working. It's fine.
It's good.
Mefashim has specifically the Re'em and the Gud Ariyeh, and this is a great question. Yes, I have plenty of pencils, little pencils.
Oh my gosh.
I bought, these are the right pencils, by the way. The pencils you want is the .05.
0.5, yeah.
Not the Wahash .07 or the
I also have
0.09 because it's
300
much thicker.
Yes.
These are easier to write in between the words.
Margins.
So again, when a person, so that what does that she say? The ear that heard at Har Sinai Lo Tignov v'halav v'ganav and went and stole teratza. That's the one. That's where it should get hit in the ear, right? Now the Re'em and the Gud and the Gud Ariyeh, they right away ask the question: why don't you pierce his ear right away? What are you waiting 6 years for?
After he wants to stay, when he wants to stay with his landlord, then you give it to him.
No, but Ashi's reason,
When
he steals.
Why? Yeah, but why do we see that the ear is the one that gets pierced? the same ear that heard at Har Sinai lo tignov and goes and steal anyway. That's the entranceway of into Neshama ears.
It's going to be because of Rashi's second reason.
Well, no, but the first
Because
reason.
that you don't have any other gods. You have no other masters.
That's a different reason, right? That's
So
different.
that's-
But the first reason is asking why the ear, but he's giving a reason why the ear. But our question is, why don't you do it right away? What are you waiting 7 years for? 6 years for? It's a fair question. If you're saying because he stole, because he
Give me the
hears,
mic. I just
But he doesn't have a choice.
it's working.
It's
What's
working.
the
It's
sense
working. It's just.
He doesn't have a
sounds like
choice
it's
for
coming
the
from
6
here, not
years.
from
He
me.
has to remain a slave for the
listening.
6 years. And then at the end of the 6 years, that's when he has a choice to stay a slave or not stay a slave.
But as she's reasoning as to why we're getting people piercing his ear,
Yeah,
is
but-
because he's
That's
the
what
ear
we
that
do.
heard at Har Sinai don't steal and went out and stole. So if
Okay.
that's the reason, what are you waiting 6 years for? Just do it now.
Because the first.
No, but
The 6 year thing is because it's a punishment that he wants to stay with the Eved and he doesn't with the Rabbo, with the Rab, and he doesn't want to go out and rely on God. That's one reason. But Rashi's specific reason, he's saying, what's the reason that he says why Dafka the ear? Because the ear that heard at Har Sinai don't steal, he goes and does it now. So the question is, why are you waiting to do it now? What are you waiting the end of 6 years? What does that have anything to do?
Right away, he's saying the second the guy stole, you should take him to the thing and take him to the hammer him.
You understand? Doc.
That's
what I would.
That's what I would say. Also, that's Rashi. Rashi gives two reasons there.
No, I know that's the reason, Mr. Bloomberg. But the question is why.
It seems like that's
you
the
gotta-
answer.
But no, but then still, what are you waiting 6 years for? So why wait 6 years? The question still stands. Even if you want to go by the second Parshat of
Because
Rashi,
the first 6 years are punishment.
first no, why the punishment?
punishment.
Well, true,
It's a punishment.
seemingly. By the way,
Seemingly it's
seemingly.
punishment. After the
Seemingly.
first 6 years, he could have gone free, and he's choosing that it's obviously not punishment to him. It's actually
Yeah,
good
look
for him.
what Rashi says. So, hey, how you doing? Right. First of all, the right ear. The first thing, the right ear. Okay, why not the small? So we go through the gears. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna jump. It says, look. But it's a machlok by the way between two Tanaim. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai says one thing, and Rabbi Shimon is saying something else. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai is the one that says that the ear, that ozen zot, this ear, sheshamal Har Sinai lo tigno, that heard at Har Sinai don't steal, v'halach v'ganav teratzea. That's the ear that you should hear. ואם מוכר עצמו אוזן ששמע על הר סיני כי בני עבדים, and if you want to say that that's the second one, and if you want to say that he heard, when did he hear Har Sinai? Not lo tignov, he heard that you are my slaves. So now that the fact that the guy doesn't care that the pasuk says you're my slave, and now you want to be someone else's slave, that's the guy that should get hit. That's the two opinions in the Rashi. You understand? But the question is, according to the first opinion, why wouldn't you go after the ear now? Why do you want to wait 6 years for it? Go for the ear now. Why would you wait? Because according to the first explanation, why did you go for the ear? Because the same ear that heard don't steal at Har Sinai went out and stole. Okay, so do it now. What's the 6 year delay? What does that mean? That's the question.
He's not his Eved until after.
Nothing. Forget Eved. You stole. You're an Eved.
No, but what's the point?
Why do we put the thing in the ear?
Only after.
Only
after.
I know, but what is Rashi's reasoning? Rashi's reasoning is that because the one that said the one that heard lo tignov stole, therefore we go through the ear. That is the reason of Rashi. The first opinion. Forget the second opinion.
Opposed to piercing him someplace else.
Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was able to heal people by them touching his hand. If he says something, it's amen. Okay, the question. You understand the question?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
understand.
understand the whole point,
Right.
because as far as my understanding from whatever I've learned is that at the end of 6 years, if the slave wants to stay
Stay.
with his master,
Good.
then he goes and
And
gets,
he gets his thing.
Why would he do it in the first? He has 6 years to contemplate and to do
Good.
tshuva.
So I'm explaining what Rashi says. Rashi gives two opinions
Okay.
as to why we do this concept, or we do this whatever of knocking him in the ear. And Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, who was the chief rabbi at the time, says the ear that heard at Har Sinai, do not steal, and he went out and he stole.
Okay.
That's the same ear that's got to get hit.
Okay.
That's what he says. Okay? So the question is, according to that opinion that says that the reason why you're knocking the ear, piercing the ear, is because he heard at Har Sinai, don't steal, and still went out and stole, then why are you waiting 6 years in order to do it? That's the
Saying
question.
the second the guy stole, the Beit Din should hammer his ear.
According to your opinion, according to your reasoning, Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai, according to your reasoning, that the reason why we're what's it calling you? The reason why we're piercing your ear is because you stole. So if that's the case, do it now.
Right away.
Why are you waiting 6 years to do
I
it?
didn't think the reason that you pierced the ear was because you stole. The reason you pierced the ear is
Because he wants to stay. So that's what we all learned in first grade, and that's correct. But that's also the second. That's different. It's a different part of Rashi. There's a beginning part and an end part.
Well,
And this part,
if you do it in the beginning, then you take away the whole concept of the whole reason why he's there. He's there. It's a rehabilitation program.
he's there to pay a debt.
It's a
He's
rehabilitation.
there. It is
If
a
he wanted to pay by that, you
everything's a
still can
rehabilitation.
pay back 2 times, 5 times. But he has no way to pay it back.
Right, that's why he
You
sold
could,
himself
by the way,
as a
one
slave.
He
second.
didn't sell himself
You
as a
could
slave.
give him an IOU. Excuse me.
We
We
told
could give him
him-
an IOU. We can give him an IOU, and over 6 years he can pay it off.
This is a problem of society. We're telling the balabait, look, he stole from you because you have a lot. Maybe you flaunt it. He has nothing. He didn't have the ability. He couldn't hold himself back. He stole. Now he can't pay you back. Now he's got to live by you and become rehabilitated.
So okay, now he's jump. I don't know if he's cheating or jumping, but that means you can't leave till the end of the class because we're gonna bring out a point, a very big chidush.
That's
That
what
you're
I
not
mean.
gonna see it coming from, and it's gonna get to your point.
Okay.
The question is why dafka the ear?
Oh, because the ear
One
that
second, no,
heard
show me-
that I'm your
Why not again
God.
that took?
What about Shabbat? What about Shabbat? Lo tignov. What about kaved davicha vetimecha? Every time I don't do something
But
right, I
only
put a poke in my ear.
Nov in the Seventh de Brock's talking about
Right?
about.
Just hit everything. Hit the ear every time you do something
No,
wrong.
it's talking about you don't
That's a good
steal a
point.
body, you don't kidnap people. Who do we know like that, right?
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. But we're gonna get to what you're saying.
No, but that's the whole thing. When Ishmael heard, when the angel came, you want the Torah, he said, Lolik no, that's my job. That's what I do. I chop rain on people.
But I'm gonna ask you a question. He's still bound by Sheva Mitzvot B'nai Noach.
I'm
He's
not
not
arguing.
allowed to steal anyway.
I'm not arguing.
No,
I
but
just
think
said
about it. That-
The steal here is talking about not to kidnap.
You understand the
There's
question?
4 other places that says don't steal bubble
That's
gum.
right. Right. Right.
We're not
All right,
talking here don't
let's go.
steal bubble gum in the store. We're talking here don't in the Sarah Deep Road. But what we learned, like you said, the first grade was I'm a shem, I'm your master, not
Right,
your.
right. But if you look at Rashi, which is a long Rashi, so maybe that's why they give us the cliff notes of the Rashi. The Rashi over there says the first opinion is because the ear that you heard don't do something and you did it, that's the ear that gets hit. The question is if that's the case, then do it right away.
Right.
That's the question.
Okay,
Now let's see.
it's a question.
That's the question. So look what he is. He's gonna give you 2 sides to look at it. 2 sides to look at that you can't do anything.
Flip it out.
Maybe here, flip it out. Like this?
Oh, much better.
Really? Yeah?
No.
So look what it says. Miyad sheganav, the minute he stole, it's possible that he was not ra'ui to get punished. Okay? Once I'm going to prove it. You could answer that the minute he stole, or at the time that he stole, it's possible to say that the guy was not, that he's not over on this concept of lo tignov that he heard at Har Sinai. And it only becomes known after 6 years when he decides, I don't want to leave, I want to stay. Okay? We're gonna understand it in a minute. But again, there's room that we're gonna show that the minute he stole, when he stole, he was not hayav, and we're not sure. Excuse me, we're not sure if the guy is worthy of being ra'uit for the punishment until he decides after 6 years that I want to stay, I don't want to leave. Okay?
There you go.
Igalai milta lemafreh she'avad, that he was oved, that right on lo tignov. Umishum haki, and therefore that's when we punish him. After, when he decides he doesn't want to leave, my boy, when he decides he doesn't want to leave, okay, like we have a case in Moed Katan. Now this is a great maaseh, a story that happened between Resh Lakish and some bozo guy. It was not some, it was a bozo at the end of the day. Resh Lakish was hired to watch over a field. He watches over the field, Now a guy comes and starts eating fruits from the field, taking fruits off the thing, and taking fruits off the thing. Reish Lakish says, "Hey, what are you doing? Stop it!" The guy ignores him. The Reish Lakish says, "If you don't stop, I'm putting you in nidui."
Yes.
Remember? I'm putting you in nidui. I'm the rabbi. I'm telling you to stop doing something. It's asur.
He used to be a criminal himself.
Yeah, but this is before he was after a criminal. The guy says, "You're gonna put me in harem? I'm gonna put you in harem." He tells the Reish Lakish that. He goes, "You're gonna put me in nidui? I'm putting you in nidui." And so it was. What happened? Because if I owe you money, then I owe you money. But nidui, I don't owe you nidui. You can't put me in nidui. You can't put me in harem. What is harem? Excommunication. Right. Excommunication is a 30-day period, minimum 30 days, where you're out. Which means people can't do business with you sometimes. People can't talk to you. You can't get an aliyah. You're not counted for minyan. You're out. You're physically out for 30 days. It's a heavy thing, okay? There's a story actually about a guy who Chacham Ovadia in his younger years made a can't move that. I can't see. Move that. Yeah, move it over there. Much better. That a guy comes to him and he made it was posek halakha or something, and the guy didn't like it. Some guy in Jerusalem, he kept coming to Chacham Ovadia and harassing him. How could you say this halakha? You're gonna ruin everything. It was constant. And Chacham Ovadia would ignore it. And at some point, he tells him, "If you don't leave me alone, pick that up, pick it up."
Do you know which halakha it was? Or no?
No, I don't know which halakha. Zev, you cannot put this. This is not gonna work. You need to put better tape.
I mean, better tape.
You're in America, buy duct tape.
No, we have tape in there somewhere.
Buy duct tape in America.
No, we have. So the guy, Chacham Ovadia says, "I'm putting you in harem." Because if you don't stop, I'm putting you in harem. The guy starts laughing at Chacham Ovadia. Boys, don't pay attention to the trap.
Nothing to see here.
Okay? Yeah, when he starts laughing. He goes, "You can't put me in harem. There's no harem today." He goes, "I'm putting you in harem." And the guy left. The guy left and left. Okay. Now the guy's walking down the street. He goes, "Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Let me ask my rabbi's harem thing. Just want to make sure. Let me just do my job. Let me just double check." He goes to his rabbi. He goes, "Rabbi, you know how you do?" He goes, "I have a question." He goes, "Is there a concept of harem today?" He goes, "No. There's no concept of harem today. Anybody puts a harem is fake." He goes, "All right, thank you, Rabbi." Okay, leaves. And still bothering him. He goes to the second rabbi. Asks second rabbi. Same thing. No, there's no harem. Goes to who did he go to the third one? Rav Eliashiv.
Ashkenazi rabbi. This was between Sephardim, first of all. Now we went to Rav Eliashiv.
Rav Eliashiv is also Sephardi.
No, he's Ashkenazi.
Really?
Shlomo Eliashiv, Ashkenazi.
So Rav Mordechai Eliyahu then.
Oh, that's a different story.
Sorry. I always get them confused.
Then he's still in good company.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. They're both going to be dancing in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Wait.
That's good. That's not bad. So now so he tells him. So he goes, "Rabbi, I want to ask you a small question. Is there nidui today?" So he says, "No, there's no nidui." All right, Rabbi, thank you very much. So walking out, then the rabbi calls him. "Why are you asking?" So he goes, "Chacham Ovadia had a thing, and he told me put me in harem." He goes, "What? Chacham Ovadia, you said put you in harem?" He goes, "Yeah." He starts screaming at him. He goes, "Stay away from me. Stay 4 more. Stay away. Don't come next to me. Don't come next to me. Don't come next to me. Stay away. Go to Chacham Ovadia right now and ask for mechilas. Do not come next to me." And he ran to Chacham Ovadia. He asked for mechilah. It's written down in the books. He asked for mechilah, and he's zayk. He lived there happily ever after. But it's no joke. Harem's not a joke.
No.
So now this guy is telling Reish Lakish, "You can't put me in harem." Why? Because there's no basis. What's the no basis? You want to say I owe you money? I owe you money. You can't put me in harem for that. Okay? And then Nimukei Yosef comes and he brings the reef. And he explains that why would he not be Hayab Nidui? What? You put people in Nidui for things a lot less.
The
reef is saying,
or not
sure.
coming to the Bet Mishpat.
Right. But no, look, gezel, right? So that's why you would put him in.
Would put
what's it
people,
called?
you do not because of financial
Stealing,
debt.
not for stealing. You don't put somebody in the hand for stealing.
Right, but Mesarev get, maybe yes, because you have no
Agreed,
money.
but so that stuff is derabanan.
Right.
The whole concept of
Right.
ketubah is derabanan.
Right, right.
So that if you all of a sudden now you're going up and they tell so the Rebbe is asking why would the guy not be eligible to be in Harem? If you could be put in Harem for less things, they would for sure you should be put in Harem. Why not? Why not?
There's
And
other
the answer
punishments,
is,
there's other punishments, he has to give
but if
back.
you're gonna but you're saying that I can't be put in Harem because it doesn't make because it's not worthy. But there's a lot of things that are much less than we put
Right.
someone in Harem for.
Right.
But he answers because Resh Lakish had to give him a warning first. Right. He had to give him a warning first. You can't put somebody in Harem until you give him a warning.
It's like if you don't do this, I do that.
If you don't do this, it's gonna happen. He didn't give him a warning. You just tell him stop. He didn't say you're not gonna do it. Be careful, right? He just put him straight. Okay. And so that's the Ravad. The Ravad says they didn't warn him in the beginning that he shouldn't eat, and he should have done that. The Bet Yosef. Okay, so far, okay. We gotta break. Whenever you learn Zera Shimshon, especially the complicated ones, you gotta break it down. The first one is we said that a person that gets his ear pierced because he wants to stay after 6 years. Okay, Rashi says why. The first opinion, Rabbi Yochanan Zakai says why. It's because come on, boys. Hey, you're late. That again. We're gonna bless you. We're gonna start again. We have the Eved Ivri. The Eved Ivri gets punctured right in the ear after 6 years. Why? Because it says that the ear that heard at Har Sinai don't steal went out and stole. Okay, so that's the thing that's got to get punished. The question we're asking: why are you waiting 6 years? If that's the reason, do it now. And that's the first thing. Then we bring to say that it could be that the reason is that we don't know that the guy is really hayav on lo tignov b'mezid on purpose until after the 6 years comes and the guy says, I'm staying here. I'm not going back out into the world. And we bring a maaseh of Resh Lakish and this guy who was stealing. Resh Lakish put him in Harem. It didn't work out so well for Resh Lakish. And the question was, why is it such a big deal? And he should be able to be put him in Harem. And we answered because he was supposed to give him a warning. And he did not. No, he didn't tell him don't. He didn't give him a warning. You're not. If you eat, I'm going to put you in Harem. He just yelled at him, don't eat, and he ignored it and kept eating. When he did that, he put him in Harem. Okay, you're supposed to warn him. If you don't, I'm going to put you in Harem. Okay. The Nimukei Yosef says, why didn't you? Right. That's what we just said about the warning. The Bet Yosef wrote Shulchan Aruch. Okay, Rabbi Yosef Karo writes in Yoreh De'at Siman Shin Lamed Daled. He writes specifically about putting someone in Nidui, putting somebody in Harem. It's only if you don't know his intention, you have to give him a warning. But if you know that the guy is up to no good, you don't have to give him a warning. Again, the Beit Yosef writes, if you know, right, the davka kehai gavna delo yadira kavanato im hayta lifroa. We don't know when you're going to put someone in Nidui for 30 days. You can put someone in Nidui. I mean, not now, but back in the day you could. Just say, but it's got to be based on something. Because why? Because if you're wrong, you go into Nidui. You want to bring out the big guns. You better be able to back it up because it's like getting countersued.
He's saying that maybe the guy thought that these fruit are for sale, and I'm going to pay him back later.
So right, that was the warning that he was. That's what he had to think of. But so the Beit Yosef over here is saying that when you don't know what the guy's kavanah was, the case of Resh Lakish, he could have assumed that maybe the guy's eating now and will pay after, which he did not do. Which you understand? That's why the Hatarah is needed. He did not know the kavanah of this guy, but Beit Yosef says if you know that what the guy is up to no good, right? If you know that the guy just don't look right, in the retail world back in the day, whenever somebody would walk in with an empty bag. You already hasho. Hasho in Arabic means thief. So so the guy in front of the store would tell the guy in the back of the store, hasho. So they know already to look for the guy that's walking around with an empty bag, walking through the store. Okay, we don't know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. That's when you know the kavanah is no good. Now, if you don't know the kavanah is not good, then you have to give him a warning. Retail. What do you want? Okay? So v'yadua kavanatav shehi lera'ah. When you know that the kavanah is bad, and tzrichim hatra'ah. You're not required to give the guy any type of warning.
You don't have to warn him.
You don't have to warn him. If you know the guy's up to no good, if the guy's a husho. If you know the guy's a husho, then you don't have to give any type of warning. Don't we have extra chairs? We got. Maybe put the table longer. The back table make it longer.
You don't have to give him any warning that you're putting him in nidui.
That if you continue this action, I'm going to put you in nidui.
But you have to say something.
When you generally yes.
Stealing. Let's say he's stealing. He's sitting, he's eating, right? You got to tell him. You can't just put him in nidui.
It seems from here that
Beit Yosef is saying,
Yeah.
when you know the guy's up to no good, you do not have to give him a warning
Or
because I'm going to put you in nidui. Because he knows the guy's walking with bad intentions. Normal such circumstances, if a guy's doing something, Resh should have gave the guy a warning
But what you're
because he didn't
saying,
know.
the ramifications of what you're saying is that if I think this guy is up to no good, let's say he's up to no good, he's a criminal, he's a a pushtar, you're in nidui.
No, what is he doing? Is he stealing?
You have to tell him. Right?
Is he stealing? Is he in the act?
He's in the act of
Then
stealing.
yes.
But we don't give him a warning.
If the guy,
If you don't repent,
what is the
you're
kavanah?
going to be a nidui.
What is? Listen to me. What is the normal way of someone that's already considered a gazlan?
Repent.
No, that's not the answer.
We don't say repent?
No. What is the? No, you didn't hear the question. That's
I'm
not,
listening.
no. The question
They got
is
Chinese food over here.
Chinese food. Well, where's the salad? There's salad.
Look at this,
meat
they're
salads.
hopping around here like it's
There's
good
meat
tomorrow.
salad. We went to Harvey's tonight, and I took all the leftovers. I put it all together. We got Harvey's tonight. Maybe. Yeah, let's go. Let's get it. We gotta get it.
Who's Harvey?
Harvey in Jerusalem. We went for my wife and my son's birthdays on the same day as today.
Today?
Today, yeah.
Oh, that's why we
we're
got,
eating. I'm like, oh, yellow, let's go.
that's why we have the cupcakes with the happy birthday.
That's why we got the happy birthday cupcakes. So look, when you know there's a person that is a bona fide stealer, thief, or a bona fide Ponzi scheme guy or something like that, you don't have to warn him when he's in the action. No. But how do you do that? You know, because the guy's already been doing it and he has a reputation.
He has a
The guy has a reputation. And if you have a reputation, you do not have to give him a warning. Okay? That's called street smart. That's called street smart. Do me a favor, you can't be, it's not all rosy all the time. If you know the guy is a bona fide, yes, we tell him to make teshuvah. It has nothing to do with telling him to make teshuvah. Right now, he's doing something wrong. And he's constantly doing something wrong. And he's not changing his ways. You have to act though. You can't just say nothing.
Well, what's the purpose of nidui? Just to punish him?
No. What is the definition of punishment? Is to cleanse.
Yeah,
It's to give him like 30 days to think about what he did. Oh, no, why does when a person comes and
But
makes
if he's
Torah,
stealing and you didn't warn him, what is he going to do? He doesn't care.
sometimes they do. What are you talking about?
Oh, you mean you're going to tell him you're in
When
nidui
people
now,
know-
then he'll care?
When there's security cameras in the store and it's not people see it, people don't steal because they know they're being watched. But when they don't know they're being watched,
You were in America now.
yeah,
You didn't see,
Ah,
when my
the
cousin tells me,
California.
the smash and grabs,
yeah. Well, they go.
the gangs, they walk around there in the store, like 50 of them converge on the store, they
Yeah,
smash the
disgusting.
glass and grab everything.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not saying who does it, because I'm not a racist.
But I will tell you, I got a lot of road
Okay, right then, let's go. So now again, what are we trying to say? We're trying to say that we don't know that the guy's a true ganab until after 6 years. When he decides that he's gonna come, and say, I want to stay. Now this ganab, this stoler, this thief was sold because of his theft. In the beginning, you would tell yourself, יש לנו לומר שהוא גנב ממש, וראוי לעונש ומיד כשגנב, מכל שכן שגנב הדבר שבוודאי אינו עומד למכירה. Okay, look, I have a question. Are you allowed to steal? What if you steal something? You have to pay kefir. Pay double. Am I allowed? Right, double. You're gonna pay. Am I allowed to steal something with the intention of I'm gonna pay double tomorrow? I know I'm gonna pay double tomorrow, but I need it today, so I'm gonna steal it today.
No,
Why not?
it's Udoraita.
Where does it say that?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna steal. And I'm gonna
Steal
pay it back.
without permission. That's the issue.
So by the way, it's not so. It's true. And that's how the Hachamim in Baba Metzia are doresh on the words lo tignov, right? It says lo tignovu. Lo tignovu is coming to include something even on the condition of right. Amen al-Hazir. Then I'm gonna give it back to the guy tomorrow. All right, it's a hard loan. I need $1,000 today. I'll pay $2,000 tomorrow. I need $1,000 today. What am I need $1,000 today. I got to do it.
It's cash advance.
Cash advance,
That's the rate.
right? 20, 30 points. Okay, it's money.
50.
Doesn't that bring into, where you can't charge interest?
So this is not interesting. I'm saying I'm going to take the penalty. The penalty. The
But
penalty.
You're effectively paying interest if you're doing that. But-
Yeah.
No, it's a penalty.
No, it's a penalty. It's not
No,
interest.
it's not
interest.
Because the guy does not want you to steal from him.
Yeah.
The guy's not interested. So then not only that, you're not allowed to steal in order to give somebody sa'ad. Even with the intent I'm going to return it. But I want to take my wife's car keys. I want to play around because she's annoying me. So I'm just going to let it be a day without the car. Now I'll bring it back to you. Can't do that. Okay? Lo tignevu. Okay? It says lo tignevu to teach you what? V'darshu hal razal. Afilu amenat lemekal o letza'er o leshalem tashlumei kefir. Now, if you want to say that the guy who stole is anus because hazit, he's miskan, he needs no choice. Sometimes you steal because you have to. Shlomo HaMelech himself says in Kohelet, don't make me rich and don't make me poor. Don't make me rich because I might forget you. The lapse of luxury, you tend to forget things real fast.
Yeah.
Don't make me poor because I might steal. So Shlomo HaMelech himself says it. So here he says, if you want to say that the guy's anus, because specifically, he's a shara dahak, I don't have a choice, I need to feed my, God forbid, the person needs to feed their family, you're going to feed your family. Okay? And why did he steal? He should have sold himself as an eved.
Melechatchila.
Right. He should have, if he needed to steal, for honest, he should have sold himself as an eved first. Okay?
But that's even worse. Sell yourself as an eved is even worse than stealing. Right. In other words,
No, it's not. It's not a Sudoraita though.
no, but
But how is that going to guarantee that he's going to feed his family, or how's it going to guarantee he's going to keep what he
I'll
would?
tell you.
What do you mean? They give him $1 million. He's a
By the way,
slave for 10
Evan
years.
They're not giving him $1 million if you're a slave.
You do
How
get
much did he
paid as
sell?
an eved. It's just
How
Yeah,
much?
but-
How much does a slave cost?
If he stole because he needs the money to do
No, here he
whatever
didn't
now.
steal. No, here he didn't steal. He wants to sell himself so he has food for his family.
That's a
How much
different
does it cost?
story. But
That's what
you're
he's
saying
now.
he should have sold himself. That's not exactly a Pete the Road for the immediate problem.
The thing is that we want to understand what the guy's intentions are.
Yes.
If my intention was that I was shot at Dak, then you should have just sold yourself and be an eved. Which means once you're an eved, after 6 years, I'm going to go free. I did what I had to do. It was a rough time, but then I went back. But now that the guy decides I want to stay, you see, Lemafre retroactively had nothing to do that it was shot at Dak. The guy just wanted to steal. You understand? That's the key. After 6 years, you want to say it's for sure because if the guy goes free, it makes sense. Sharadak, he did his time, he had to feed his family, he stole what he stole, he had to do what he had to do. But now the guy's running home. Beauty. Now, if the guy doesn't do that, it's showing that he had no intention. It meant nothing.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because really, if you want to say it from his shara dak, then he should have sold himself as an Eved first. Sold himself as an Eved, give his family what he needs, and after 6 years you come out free. But really, why did he sell himself? Because he didn't want to be over on Isur. So now that he wants to stay and doesn't want to go home like he's supposed to, his kavanah is revealed. Doc, you get it?
Okay.
His kavanah is revealed, and now he's ra'ui that he's over on the love of lo tignov. So now you pierce his ear. That's one way to look at it. Okay?
It's one way, but I mean,
I'm going to give you another way.
if you say that he was like a Tinok Shenishba, when he stole in the beginning, he didn't know the halacha. He was an ignoramus.
That's the second.
He was a Jew in ignoramus.
That's the second.
After living in this Balabait's house and hearing Divrei Torah every Shabbos, he became a Chacham. He started learning Torah. Now, if he doesn't listen, now he gets the ears pierced.
So okay. So first angle is remember why the first question, the original question is why Dafka after 6 years, and we're answering because we don't know if he's really oved on it or not. If he's oved because he had to feed his family's anus, then his kavanah. Remember we talked about kavanah.
6 years.
No, what do
We're
you mean?
going to learn this covenant then 6 years.
Excuse me. There are people that after 20 years they get out of jail, they go do a crime in order to go back to jail.
No, absolutely, I agree with that.
So-
but there are also various reasons for that. So that's not.
There's various reasons.
We're talking about the Jewish rehabilitation program, Jewish prison.
Jewish rehab.
Jewish reaction.
Jewish, because right, he's supposed to be learning within 6 years. But if the guy doesn't get the message and he still wants to stay, that's showing that his original intention of what he wanted to do was bad, and his intention was never to be rehabilitated or care enough to be, or doesn't care to be rehabilitated because his heart's gonna be close to all the
He had a kavanah to steal, and then 6 years he's a slave, and he had any kind of chavamina to be rehabilitated. He doesn't even know he's being rehabilitated. We're hoping
What are you talking
that
about? People know.
no. When we take some 18-year-old punk, and he stole, and now you're gonna be who you stole from. You can't pay it back. You're gonna be a slave. Now he's watching. I'm sleeping in a good bed, Sealy
Right.
Pockerpedic
Right.
mattress, and my balabite sleeping on
the floor.
floor.
Okay.
Now what's going on here? After 6 years, he begins to learn Menschlichkeit. He begins to learn Torah. He gets to see around with a family. He never lived in a family.
That's the normal case of a guy that's lost.
Yes.
You're right. But when he decides he wants to stay, it's showing that he wants to stay, and he's not.
Let's use your dogma. You know why these criminals in the
Like to
prison
go
system?
back.
Because that's the only life they've learned. 20 years. I got to go back home.
Not all the time.
Most of the time,
I'm gonna tell you something.
they
that
go
you
out
might
to the
not know.
street. They go. I
This one
don't
used to.
recognize this. I can't survive here. I
You
want to
forget-
go back home.
I work.
Yeah.
Okay, and not the most poshest of neighborhoods. Okay, and you learn a lot of things about the street when you're there. There's a lot of more ways to skin a cat than you might think.
Okay, I don't know everything.
Some guy rather be in jail.
Yeah.
Because that's their
Not that,
home.
not that it's the only thing they know. It's not a bad life. You got a roof over your head. You don't have to work. You get 3 square meals a day. You get cable TV.
Listen, I don't want to be collect on you.
No, I'm just saying.
But
I'm telling you
I-
what I'm telling you from the street. You can't argue because I know this from
The prisons are so horrible. The prisons
Where?
are. You take Chino in California,
We're
right?
not talking about
You-
that.
wait,
We're talking
you're
about
not
somebody
talking
who's
about
become
that.
an
We're talking. I'm
independent
just
Ivri.
answering what he's saying. The prison, like you take Chino and all of the prisons in California, they are factories of murder. The gangs there, they're murder factories. If you take,
They're not all. Some of them are nice country clubs. Hello.
we're not talking
White
about
collar
that. We're
crimes,
talking
it's not
about
bad. You
talking
gotta
about
play golf.
we're talking about hard-nosed criminals. And
But I'm
stuff.
saying there's extremes to each spectrum.
We're not talking about where Jack Abramoff went. We're not talking about the country club.
Yeah, go.
The
Okay.
question is when you acquire a Jewish slave, do you not have to treat him as good as the
Treat him
rest of
better.
them? Better than your
You
pet?
treat him better.
Fine, so then, you know.
So after 6 years, he should know. When the
So
person does
Yaakov's
something wrong,
question is that it might not be a symbol of him understanding that he committed the crime.
so, but we're just trying to prove that if he did it, something he did it by honest. And we only know after the fact. Okay, that's just one. Let me go on to the next
Okay,
angle.
next. So we
The
need
first
to-
angle, just to be clear, remember, there's many angles. The first angle is because we realize why after 6 years, because we see that if it was because of a dohak that he was in, right? He should have sold himself originally, and since he didn't sell himself originally, and now he got messed up and now he became a slave. After 6 years, he should want to go back to his family, which is the reason why he stole it in the first place, to support them. And now that we see that the fact that he wants to say, we know this kavanah was just to steal, and therefore that's when we know that now he's legitimately over on lo tikno. That's why the ear that hurt. Different way, complete adkan. Okay, completely different angle. If I didn't mess you up now, wait.
Mitigating circumstances. That means
Okay, but that's the Zera
That's one.
Shimshon.
That's the beginning.
Welcome.
That's the beginning.
Let's go.
That's
Next.
the beginning. There's more.
yeah.
אלא מצד אחר יש להפוך בזכותו ולומר. Now we're going to do complete opposite.
Yeah.
We're showing that the guy's bad. Now we're going to say completely different.
Yeah.
Where there's a side to wait in order to give the guy zechut. Why give him zechut? That we're going to assume that his kavanah that he stole was not bad.
What are you holding? Sorry.
On Tav Tav Lamed Tet, where it says Ela Misad Aher Yesh La'afoch, which is the second paragraph on the page on the right side.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the Kavanato Enara, yes.
Going by what you're saying right now, why can't we just say, you know what? After 6 years, the guy loves his new balabayit, loves the family. He says, why would I go anywhere else? It's a great family. I'm now living and working for the best rabbi in the
We're
world.
gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to that in a minute. And why that's such a bad thing? Because we have a pasuk. that says Israel avadim avadayim, you're mine.
Okay, that's
You
right.
now want to decide to be someone else? I told you I was going to get to it 2 seconds before. I know it.
Yeah, I know.
I got to rev up. In the winter, you don't just turn the car on and go. You give it a minute.
Give it a minute. Okay.
So look, so you give the complete opposite zechut, right? Why? You want to say that his kavanah was not ela sheta'a b'svarato. He just made a mistake in his own logic. What does it say in Baba Batra? It says Darash Rabbi Pinchas ben Bar Hama. Kasher aniyut betoch beto shel adam yoter me-50 makot. That God forbid lo aleinu v'lo alechem, poverty in a house is stronger and rougher to deal with in someone's house than 50 makot that Mitzrayim took in Mitzrayim.
Again,
Aniyut.
poverty in
Poverty.
somebody's house is more difficult than
That to
the.
deal with than the 50 makot in Mitzrayim. Okay? Which is, by the way, anybody that all they want to do is just support their family, and when they have they'll agree. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been there too. Okay, we've all been there. There's no thing where it doesn't work that way. Okay, it's the normal way of dealing with things.
That's one normal way, and the other normal way is to be like Hanina Mendoza.
You have Hanina Mendoza's wife, then you can be Hanina Mendoza. Okay?
Why? She almost ruined him with that gold leg.
She's the one that saved him because of the gold leg.
She was the one that also almost ruined him because of the gold
So
leg.
actually, by the way, we're gonna get there. We're gonna intertwine it. We're gonna intertwine it. So look. So again, what is he? So Rabbi Pinchas ben Hama is Doresh saying that poverty inside a house is worse to a person than 50 makot. How do we know? Because the pasuk in Yov says Hanuni, which is saying what his friends are saying. At least you still have your money. He lost this, he lost that. I mean, I guess the next day he kind of lost it probably, but at that point, Sasha, you didn't lose it yet. Okay?
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And what does the Maharsha write? The Maharsha writes in Baba Batra on this Gemara. It says that Rabbi Pinchas ben Hama was medakdek to say the words betoch beto inside the guy's house. Why? Because he's teaching you that even if a person has money, but it's because it's borrowed money from someone else, it's the same 50 makos. It's just as bad. If you understand, if you borrow money from somebody and you're living off that borrowed money, it's the same thing.
The debt, living on debt.
Living on debt. Mehasha says, "Didek lomad betoch beto shel adam." By the way, debt is not the same thing as owing a friend. Debt to a bank, and I just have to change the name of the house from me to my wife, is very different than me owing my friend that I see every Shabbat at shul. Very different. Okay?
So you're saying it's worse to the friend?
Sure.
None of them are good.
Sure. None of them are
You're
good.
saying it's worse to the friend?
Yeah, what do you mean?
You have to see him every day in your bath.
Every day is the worst. Are you kidding?
Still, if somebody owes you money and you know he can't pay it, you gotta cross the street and
Separate
hide.
halachot. Agreed.
No, I'm just saying.
Why?
That's how
By
bad
the
it
way,
is.
why? Why? Because the guy feels that way.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Right?
supporting what
Because the
you're
guy
saying.
feels that way. Because it's worse than 50 makot in the house.
Yeah.
Why? Why? Because he's talui on others. He's talui on other people. Okay? And that hit, okay, of being reliant on other people is much harder for him than 50 makot in the house. Again, we asked the question, why when we pierced the guy's ear by the door, why do we wait 6 years? Why do we do it right away? Because what she says, Rabban Yohanan ben Zakkai says that the ear that heard at Har Sinai don't steal and stole, therefore we do it. So the question is that do it right away. What are you waiting 6 years for? So we explained that it must be that we're not sure that the guy is chayav on lo tignov or not yet, until after 6 years when he decides to stay home, to stay by the Rab. Why? We learn by Memoed Katan, we learn a story of Resh Akish and the Resh Akish was guarding a field. The guy comes and starts eating. The Resh Akish says, stop doing that. He says, no. He says, I'm putting you in Harem. The guy says, I'm going to put you in Harem. You can't put me in Harem, I'm putting you in Harem. The guy says, the Resh Akish. And he goes, you want to say I owe you money, then I owe you money. But I don't know it, but you can't put me in Harem. They go to Bedin, boom. Resh Akish 30 days was in Harem. Why? So because he should have warned him. You should have warned him and he didn't warn him. Why? You got to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was eating and ought to buy. He was going to pay for it. Look, if you ever go, sometimes I stay in Philadelphia, and I go to like Trader Joe's or something, and I don't exactly bring food like I used to, so I'm on fumes sometimes. So I'll open a bag of chips, I'll start eating them, but I'm bringing my card. I know I'm going to pay for it at the end. No one's going to tackle me in the aisle, the produce aisle. They wait there, and I say, okay, I ate this, and they charge me because sometimes I get crazy, I get delirious. One time Friday night, I didn't eat all day. I started feeling whatever. I went into shul, into the kitchen. I opened the refrigerator. I started eating grapes during Kabbalah Shabbat. I don't eat. I lose weight when I go there. Yeah, it's good. I like that one. So anyway, so back to what we saying that you got to give the guy a warning. If you don't give the guy a warning, right, then there's no good. But we also learned, Beit Yosef brings down, that if you give a guy, when do you give a guy a warning? Under normal circumstances. Yeah. But if the guy is a known villain, right, and he's in the middle of stealing, you don't have to give him a warning because he has hazakah to what he is. Yeah. And now that the guy stole, we want to say that maybe it's because of his daha, shana daha. The guy has no money, he has a family to feed, he doesn't want his children to die of starvation, God forbid. So what does he do? Okay, he has to do what he has to do. He steals, gets caught. All right, now he gets taken. He gets taken, fine. That's fine. Now after 6 years, so now we want to say the guy's anus.
But is that a tarutz to say when he's anus, not to give him the thing?
That's the thing. Why? Because he can't wait to go back home. But now that you don't want to go back home and you want to stay here, now we're questioning your kavanah, and we believe your kavanah stayed. So therefore, the ear that heard Lo Tigno by Har Sinai is the one that gets hit. That's one way. And you only know that is real kavanah after the fact. Now the second, with a different angle you can look, and that's what we're up to now, that his kavanah to steal was not bad at all, but just that he messed up with his logic. Okay, why? Because we have the Gemara Baba Batra. Rabbi Pinchas ber Hama says that aniyut is harsher on a person in his house more than 50 makor. How do we know? Pasuk in Iyov, right? That says, yeah, it's all but at least thank God you have your money. Okay, it's funny. It's like in the women, they'll do anything. They'll take any. One of my cousins was sick. Okay, different cousin. It was sick, and the doctor said it's like a 1 in 3,000 you might die, but it also, so she said, all right, whatever, and then the doctor said it also might give you weight, you might gain weight. She said, oh no, forget it, I'm not doing it. Forget it. The kavanah comes out. You understand? You don't want to lose weight, you don't want to gain weight. No.
What is the chanuni? How does it?
So thank you. You actually brought it back. Because he always telling his friends, at least you have your money. At least you're not poor.
To them. He's telling his friends.
Yeah. I think I didn't look up the pasuk. I'm not sure. I just came back an hour ago.
Right.
Okay, and the Mahasha comes.
We'll let it pass.
Let this one go. We'll look it up together. So the Mahasha was medaktek. It says Loma beto shel Adam. Right. That remember the Rabbi Pinchas ber Hama says that it's harsh. I knew this harsher inside a person's house. Right. The hainu, which means what? That even a person has mezonot, but it's contingent on other people. He's living off borrowed money that he has to ask every week. That's harsher than 50 makot. Okay, now here we bring it home. This guy was thinking in his head, since it's not proper to steal, since it's not proper to sell myself as an eved, since it's not proper to sell myself as an eved, because if I sell myself as an eved, it's not going to save me from this pain that I'm going to feel because I'm going to be reliant on someone else, and it's going to be worse than 50 makot. Right? In Ken, what it says, we have a pasuk, when your friend gets lower than you, right? When he gets into troubled times, he's going to say that this pasuk is talking about when it's already too late and it was already done.
He already stole.
He's already a slave.
He's saying
he's already a slave.
Right. So he's saying this guy is.
This guy's in a position. He's in a predicament. He doesn't want to steal. He doesn't want to be a slave either. But what's the best of two evils? Let me steal now and I'll pay it back when I have it. That's what he's gonna say.
But then you're saying is that it's better to his logic is I'd rather be over mido oraita than a mido.
Because he's saying it's really like an asmachta in the Gemara. It's not real. Here's the pasuk that says "V'chi amuk," when your friend gets lower than you, is only after the fact
that he stole.
And he's an eved.
Then he sells himself.
That he's an eved. He's forced to. And the pasuk is really coming to tell you, don't be an eved. Why? Because the pasuk says, "Ki li bnei Yisrael avadim avadayim." Because the pasuk says that we are God's slaves. We are not free. Get that out of your head. We are not free. We were transferred ownership, like the mortgage was transferred from one bank to another.
Moshe says, you're going to send them out so they'll serve me. Hashem says,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's called Avodat Hashem. We are slaves.
Better to be
But
Hashem.
it's okay because the slaves of a king are rich.
This way of looking at it is basically saying that from a moralistic perspective, it's better to be on the streets than to be taken in by somebody else as a slave.
That's what he's thinking.
Yes.
That's what he's thinking. He's why? Because he's saying what Rabbi Pinchas Bar Hama is bringing that Aniyut is worse than 50 makot is only an asmachta, and he's reading the pasuk wrong.
Right.
That when your friend goes under, right? He's saying that they're taking him as a slave. He's saying this is only after the fact, and really you shouldn't, because the pasuk says that that you are my slaves, and you are my slaves. You're not slaves of slaves.
Right.
You're my slaves. So if I'm a slave, and the Reuven comes over here, and now he owes money, whatever, I buy him as a slave. So this guy that's stealing or is faced with the predicament, should I steal or should I not, is going to say he can't be Charles is a slave because Charles is a slave. Himself is a slave.
Right.
So it must mean it's better to steal.
Hard to understand the svara of the Gaon.
Why?
Why not? It's so
Easy.
simple.
Explain to
He
me.
gets to choose who
Let's
he's
go.
going to be a slave of.
That's a big thing. Who chooses?
In other words, I choose to be
If I get
Hashem's
to
slave.
choose,
Therefore,
I
I'm
steal
gonna-
from you.
I'm
He's
gonna-
choosing.
okay, I want to be
Right.
saved.
He's choosing.
Right.
Then we're trying to say why we have to wait 6 years.
I didn't understand.
Right. Yeah.
We're trying to say what?
choosing to
והואיל
become a
שיהיה
slave.
נחלץ מהדואר, יותר היה קל
who
בעיניו,
needs
it was
to be
easier
slave
for
of?
him to steal with the intention to pay כפל. שלא באה אזהרה על זה בפשט הכתוב, אלא באסמכתא
Can you
בעלמא.
explain?
But
The
remember
Gaon
we
of
said,
saying, the Gaon of saying, I prefer to be a Ganav and pay kefel than to become a slave.
why? Because the Gemara Baba Metzia that says lo tignevu, they made an asmachta that you can't steal in order, even if you know you're going to pay it back tomorrow.
Right.
So that's really an asmachta. The pasuk, he's reading the pasuk wrong, but he's saying don't be a slave because you are already a slave and you're supposed to be my slaves and that's what someone else's slave. So this guy's saying to himself, I rather be over on something much less, which is derabanan,
Yeah.
which let me owe the guy double. Who cares? Rather than being a slave.
Right, 'cause
I
they-
feel like it also should be that the guy who now owns a slave should have some sort of punishment because
Right. He's
you're
feeding
owning
him.
Guy that what?
He's
like
feeding him.
the guy who's
Baal
owning a slave.
Is also
I mean, it's not part of this, but like I feel like he
Yeah,
should
yeah.
incur some sort of a punishment
side of the
because like
coin.
how
They
could
say
you
who-
take him as a slave? He already belongs to me.
No,
So that's
what
the
he's saying
reason-
is right.
that's
He
the
says that it's
reason,
an
it's right.
Ivry.
Because
It's
why?
different.
What's the reason?
Because,
Go
no,
ahead.
what he's saying there's a time, but really we're not talking about a slave like a goy. We're talking about the Evan Ivry because there's already Tnaim in his favor. He's not totally a slave.
When you're, it says in the Gemara, anyone that takes a slave acquires a master.
Yeah, right. That's
You
right.
understand?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
because why? Because at the end of the day, all he's doing, right? He has to give him the last bed, his ceiling, mattress, pedic, whatever. He's got to give him his last food. He's got to give him everything.
Right. He gets the better of everything.
That's the better of everything. Why? Because of what he has to deal with.
Yeah.
So that's why he rather takes. No, it's the two guys leaving. They're reshuffling chairs.
Oh.
They're taking. It's like the 7th inning. You know. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
the-
yeah.
Right.
I don't know. You'd be surprised if you've spoken to me for 1,000 years. You would never know that I know nothing about sports. I know about American football, but baseball, the innings, the RBIs. My parents are Holocaust survivors. I don't know. The only thing when it comes to a bat, the Nazis holding a bat. But I don't know anything about baseball. Anyhow, go on. But you wouldn't know it.
Yes.
I don't know.
What? He's hayav in the mitzvot that women are hayav, and I think katan. A shifha, an eved, and nashim have all the same mitzvot that they're hayav on. But yeah, there are less. But he's because Mangarama, he doesn't have time. It's not his.
Oh, so he's putter from tefillin and all that? No.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's-
I guess.
Yeah. He's like
So this
he's
is
like
what
a
the guy
lady.
said. By the way, I'm gonna tell you even more. He wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only one that wasn't sure that you were allowed to steal on the condition of returning tomorrow. You're still not allowed to do that. You know who else didn't know? David HaMelech. David HaMelech did not know the halacha. Am I allowed to steal today and I'll just pay kefil tomorrow? How do we know? We have a pasuk in Yehezkel showing that the Sanhedrin had to inform David that we don't do that. What's the pasuk? In Yehezkel. Yeah, right? From where to where? Havol yashiv rasha gezela yeshalem. that the it's called the Rasha, right? Is good. The Rasha returns what he stole, and we say even though he paid back the double, he's still called the Rasha.
But this isn't something that David did. This is something that he was judging.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but even
He had to
David the
learn
man
the
didn't
co-
know the
Yeah.
David's face is on Kisei Kavod.
Yeah.
So I'm saying if he didn't know it,
He empathized with the position. It was a real question.
yeah, it's a real question.
Yeah.
So we're trying to say that if you want to say this is far fetched, but the guy didn't say it's not so far fetched because David the man himself didn't know the
I mean,
answer.
the mentality of someone who's in desperate need is like, okay, if you catch me, I'll pay, but like, you know, whatever it is, I need what I need today.
I knew. By the way, $1,000 today is worth way more than 10,000 tomorrow, and I don't need the 10,000.
Or when you don't know you're gonna get the 10,000 for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, when you need what you need. You need what you need when you need
The guy
it.
needs a plate of food.
Okay, look,
Guy needs a plate of food.
umishum hachi, and therefore that's why the guy did not want to sell himself at the beginning. Because you could say, why did you? If you needed the money, you should have sold yourself in the beginning and not be over there. But he's reading the pasuk. No, the pasuk is really the avad when it already happened, and I stole it. Now I'm a slave, and the pasuk is coming to teach genai on the guy that did it. And really, it's better to steal with the intention of paying double tomorrow. That's what he's saying.
As opposed to selling yourself into slavery. Yeah.
Right now, right. As opposed to selling
That's
yourself
the
as a
svara
slave.
of the Gaon. That's not
Right.
that's not what you're supposed to do.
That's the svara. That's the incorrect svara.
Right.
But we don't know all this until the end.
Right.
Umishum that's why he did not want to sell himself, and he went to go steal, right? To do what he had to do. The al menat l'shalem k'sheyeshlo. On contingent or on condition that I'm going to pay for when I have it. Leficha, and therefore maybe the guy is not a'ui for onish. Okay, because he's what lo yabuzu malel mishum hachi amar. He only stole to eat because he's poor, not because he wanted to steal to steal. And mishum hachi, the pasuk says shebenikad b'nevato sharei afilu lefi devarav, even according to his logic. And according to his incorrect understanding of the deen, he's still called an Eved. Why? Shaharehu Hayab, he's still called an Eved because even though the guy is not an Eved, but now he's indebted to somebody,
You're like
he's considered an Eved.
Eved loveh leish malveh.
Right, because you have famous pasuk in Mishleh, Eved loveh leish malveh. A borrower
So he
is
really-
like a slave to the lender.
So he already
The
made himself
Gemara
a
said-
slave. By stealing, he already made himself a slave. Even
Right. He already made himself a slave. You understand? You want to say making yourself a slave because Pasuk says Abadim Abadaili, that they're mine.
it's
Yeah,
worse
right?
than stealing.
That it's worse than stealing. I'm gonna have to pay double, right? And then, but you don't realize that when you did that, you're still considered a slave because you stole, right? And therefore, we have to sell him.
Well, we're all slaves according to that.
We are slaves,
Yeah.
but if you borrow money, you're also
Debt-
considered a slave.
Right, debt leveraging is considered to be slavery.
Yeah, the Gemara, by the way, says if you want someone not to talk to you, lend them some money. Lend them some money.
And don't ask. And don't ask. And
And don't ask for the payment. Because the guys, it's what it is. Okay, but you have a
He's
problem.
gonna run away from you.
Yes, that's the thing. Why? Because
doesn't
he
have to
ain't
be
free.
big.
He wants to be free. He owes this debt on top of him. ובזה יובן הטעם, why it's when it says קידושין י"ח עמוד א', חי. Okay? ונמכר בגנבתו, ולא בכפלו. It says that he was sold on his thievery. It doesn't say that he sold on his בכפלו, that he really had to pay double and he couldn't pay the double. Why? לפי שמכירה זו לא רצה כתוב להטיל עליו שום עונש. Because why? Because the selling, because the only reason why he stole is because he doesn't have, and he was shot a dog. It's possible that his kavanah was not to be over al divrei Torah, just he was to'eh in the deen. He made a wrong turn. He was supposed to go right. He went left. He wasn't sure. He thought that this is the right thing to do.
Right.
Thought if I pay back tomorrow twice,
Right.
it's better than selling like a slave
according
now.
What
to
the
his-
logic?
According to his logic and
It
mental
makes sense.
gymnastics.
This is what I'm supposed to do. Steal. I'll pay back tomorrow. It's not the best thing to do, but it's alright. So it's frowned upon. But
It's
not
like
asur.
texting while you're driving. You're like, well, one day they're gonna catch me. I'll pay 1,000 shekel, but
So my rabbi holds that's a deoraita.
yeah.
My rabbi holds, Rabbi Osgood holds that texting and driving is deoraita.
Sure.
Why?
Because
Because
yeah.
because you're engaging others. It's not only you, you're engaging others.
That's right.
So for those that text and drive, I'm sorry. I'd say I'm guilty myself. I'm trying to get better, but maybe that's why I got.
I'm covering addicts.
Same for speeding?
Let's not go crazy.
I just want to know where your Rav's.
Where the line is?
In a school zone, maybe.
Why, the Tesla really drives by himself?
Yeah, there you go. But by the way, all this machshava, this thinking that we can assume that the guy was messed up with a sevara only works if he leaves after 6 years.
Right.
Because if he stays, then we know the guy never cared about what the Pesukim
Didn't
say.
we say that once about, we knew that about Paro? That once he also, his svara, we realized what Paro's intentions were.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
intentions
yeah.
were only after the fact.
Lemafreya, you
Right.
figure right. You
Right.
can't say this because at the end he did this, and then it shows that what he really was at the end.
And
Yeah.
clearly
It's
it's
hard
hard
to say because the guy, it says if the guy got married and had kids,
Because
that's when
the-
he doesn't want to leave.
Because the
He's got
Gemara
a whole
says,
family
why
there.
did he do it? You cannot be an Eved Ivri if you're single. You have to be married already. I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
Yeah, but the pasuk says that he got. Let's say he gets married and he's
The
got kids.
נתן לו אדוניו אישה וילדיו, the master gets the wife and the kids.
We're gonna get there.
And then the
If
pasuk
they,
says
if
if
they
he wants
gave
to
him
go.
a wife and they
so
had
it's,
kids,
This one, this cable.
and
This
he
cable's
leaves
problem.
the wife
Why, it's a
and
problem?
the kids stay.
Right.
So that's a good reason for the guy not to want to go.
Right.
It is, if
Yeah,
that's.
you hear what he's saying? He's saying,
It's all plugged in. It all looks
He has
good.
already has
he's saying,
Right. So he wants to
No,
stay.
it's recording. It's
Yeah,
not going into the
recording.
phone.
he's saying like
And another-
this.
another-
You're hearing it.
He can't be single.
That's why I said he was
Saying,
better.
the
Possibly
guy-
the-
the guy-
No,
the
but
guy
like
came in
better
with-
life.
Maybe I
the
was
guy
just
came in with
wife,
nothing.
new
it makes me feel good.
It's
The
okay.
guy came in with nothing.
It's
He
not
sold
okay.
himself with nothing to be a slave.
Cable, yeah?
Now,
It's a
Absolutely.
brand new cable.
now the
No,
master
it's not.
gives him a
It
woman,
needs to be special cable.
and he marries a woman,
Stays,
and he has kids with this lady, right? He has a wife and kids now. If he leaves, he doesn't get the wife and kids. He stays with the master.
So that's why.
So he's asking, isn't that enough of a reason for the guy to want to stay?
Attach
The wife and kids
yourself
depends on the wife and kids.
That's what he's saying.
to another
Depends if you like him, I don't know.
person because you're.
Oh, it's a good point.
All right, let's see. Let's go.
The guy-
Right, everything
The guy says, listen, I got married, I have kids now. If I leave, I don't get nothing. I want to stay
He's
here
gonna
with my
send you
wife.
what
You're
the
going
right
now.
cable is.
Really? It's
No,
not the right
he's
cable?
he's doing
It's the
this.
same cord.
Specific. It's a specific
Really?
audio.
Can we get it in Israel?
I'll find it. Yeah.
So look, so this all works. Come on, boys, let's keep going. This all works only if he doesn't have to leave after 6 years. But if he does, because when he doesn't want to leave,
Take him and go.
boys, you're with me or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good. But if he doesn't leave after 6 years, right? All of a sudden, his kavanah was revealed that he was never makpid on anything the Pesukim said. Pesukim says avadim avadayim, which means I don't want to be a slave. I want to steal because the way you learn that only you're not allowed to steal in order to pay back tomorrow is only an asmach and a gemara. So it's better to do that than to go be a slave because really you can't be a slave of a slave. I'm a slave of God.
It's like the guys in the
I need
streets.
to have my
who say-
time. My time's my time.
That's like the guys in the streets who like some guys don't want to be in jail, and some guys are like, you know something, it's I
They
don't know.
like it. Some.
Same,
Not
that's
every-
the same kind of person.
Yeah. So then the original question comes back. Why didn't he sell himself in the beginning? And he has nothing else to say about Aniyut. There's more than 50 people because you see when he stole, he's also reliant on other people. So it doesn't make sense either. You want to say that if the guy was freed after 6 years and the guy goes back home, fine. He was torn his sevara, makes sense. But if the guy does not, that's showing that he doesn't care. Right? He doesn't care about what the Pesukim say. Okay? Now the fact that he doesn't care about what the Pesukim say, and he's not makpid also, the fact that his money is reliant on other people giving him, then his question, the original question comes back. Why didn't he sell himself as a slave in the first place when he needed the money? And why did he choose to steal? The original thing was saying he didn't want to be a slave because really it's Genai and Hashem doesn't want you to be a slave because the Pasuk says, Avadim Avadai Li, him, right? They are mine.
Yeah.
But now that we see that the guy doesn't care and wants to stay, he'll stay being a slave, he don't care. It's showing that he doesn't care about the Pesukim. Right? And you can't say that he cares about that Aniyut is more or less than 50 makot. Listen up, boys. Why?
For him it's not. For him it's not.
Huh?
For him it's not.
That's the point. We're trying to say why he waited 6
Right.
years.
He chose the quote unquote good life, being a slave.
Sheganav hayta kavanato lera'ah. So what is the kavanah showing? That his intention was to steal, just to steal. Not because I had no choice, I don't want to be a slave because the Pesukim say I shouldn't be a slave because I'm a slave of God. That's not why. Okay, don't sketch. That's fake.
If that was true, you would
If it was
leave.
true, you would have left. And that's why
How come the
we
Zera
waited after
Shimshon-
6 years.
How come the Zera
You don't
Shimshon
know.
doesn't say that now, he has a wife and kids and he loves them?
What?
How come the Zera Shimshon doesn't bring the pshat? that
He's gonna
bringing?
explain it now. I'm gonna try to rush because I don't want to go too late, but I'm gonna rush. Why Dafka the ear? What does it Rashi say? The ear that heard at Har Sinai, don't steal, right? Gets hit in the ear. So what about Shabbat? If I'm over on Shabbat, the ear that heard Shabbat and I didn't do Shabbat, I should also get hit. We should have 1 million holes right now. Why? Why don't we go to
You don't
ignore?
have 6 years to.
I think the Zohar says because the Yovel.
You don't have 6 years.
You don't have 6 years to be reminded every day.
But don't forget, the reason why she's saying why the ear was because he heard it, and he chose to ignore
But
it.
still, it's at the end of the
I think the
6
Zohar
years.
says.
But the end of 6 years is because he wants to stay a slave. That's a separate reason why the ear. The ear specifically because that's what the Divrei Torah went in, the commandments went in through the ear. You heard it, it registered. You know, the Arizal says why. You see these Jews, it's crazy. You said the Holocaust, right? I remember a story where they on these guys. They on Yom Kippur, they had a bunch of people cleaning a hall, okay, a Nazi hall, scrubbing. And on Yom Kippur, what do? They come and bring in fresh hazir. And they said eat. And the guys that were there said even the non-Jews that would eat pork and cheeseburgers would always eat. They said they're not eating it. If anyone gets to decide who eats non-kosher, it's me. It's not them.
It's not the Nazis.
It's not the Nazis.
It was
Why?
it was the Russian camps.
So listen, what's
And
the
the
point?
Russian camps, they weren't killing Jews, but they couldn't stand the religion. So on Yom Kippur, they would give you a
Spread.
a spread with the pig with the apple in the mouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the Arizal says why do we have that desire when even people that are not Jewish are not related, not connected with the Torah, not religious, they're not connected to the Torah. Sorry, thank you. I'm sure it's obvious, but fine. That when it comes to desecrating God's name, they can't stand it, and they get up. Why? Because the Arizal says that they heard the Anochi Hashem. That's what was engraved. If they would have heard Zachor Yom HaShabbat Kadeshua from God Himself, then people would die over Shemirat Shabbat, like they do. The first 2 words of God that cleanse the whole body, the whole tikkun of those 2 specific words. That's what God's saying. It's crazy.
The
Okay.
worst killing name in the world. They do bris milah. It's incongruous with what they live.
Right. So look what it says. Okay, look. This is, by the way, I'm gonna bring in what everybody said. Because the Gemara Ketuvot, Tarula Banan Braita, Leolam, a person should not allow his ears to hear Devarim Betelim. Even things that are Divrei Mutar, you shouldn't accustom yourself to listen to Devarim Betelim. Lefi Shehem Nichvot Tehila La'averim. They are the first of the limbs to get burned in Gaon. Why? They're the lightest. They're the smushiest. So that's the thing. What does that mean? The Mehasha comes and says, "Shegam hadibur hamutar, dibur, regular dibur that's mutar, kegon devarim beterim she'enan tzrichin that you don't really need to talk about. Al yashmiya leoznav. You shouldn't listen to that either. Ela ledibur shel mitzvah. You should only be talking about devarim that have to do with Torah. That's what you should allow your ears to be accustomed to. Right? With the other senses that you have. Kegon, seeing, he says. This is Meharsha. She'en adam muzhar, a person is not warned as much to be careful with his eyes as much regarding things that are mutar. Mutar, not things that you're not allowed to look at.
No,
Things that you are allowed to look at, you have no isur or no fence against around seeing something that you are allowed to see. Only something that you shouldn't listen. Even something that's mutar. Right? Because when you allow yourself to let the gates are open, you're listening to whatever comes in, and even it's all dibur that is mutar, eventually it's going to lead to dibur that's asur. Now, this is why they get burned first. Right? Why these first? Because the isur is found here more than here, and more than here, and more than here. You can close your eyes. You cannot smell from your nose, and you can close your mouth. You can't close your ears. That's why you got the. Yeah, I did that one time. I was in the car. My wife's talking on the phone. I don't know what. So I go like this with my I go like this. It's as if it's not even working. Like, I still hear it. It was like a month ago, by the way. It wasn't that far ago. Okay? But what? But the same what? That the ears are the most vulnerable. So you understand? So again, we want to understand why the ear. So now in Baba Metzia it says, the Rav says, this is great. Whoever listens to their wife, nofel b'gehinom.
Can I record this?
You can, because the same Gemara has two things. It's recorded already. The Gemara is also going to say, but now the Gemara on the spot says, what are you talking about? We also have a Braita that says, if your wife is short, you should bend down and listen to what she has to say.
Right.
So what's going on? Is it don't, if you listen to your wife, you go to hell? Or if your wife is short, you should listen. It's being showing how much you have to listen to her.
Right.
Even if she is short, you should trouble yourself to go down and listen.
You
So
must
which
or
one
you
is it?
mustn't.
Because she's
You
tall.
should.
If she's tall.
Then jump.
I'm saying
Get a chair. Then get a chair.
one says that you must listen, and the other one says you must
Do not.
listen.
No, one says whoever listens, go to Gaon.
Right, that's you
The other one
mustn't.
says if she's short,
Right.
you should bend down to show the importance of listening to your wife.
Right.
So then what is the answer?
Right.
So the answer is La Kasha, Ha b'mileh de alma, Ha b'mileh de beta. One is talking about the matters of the world, and one is talking about the matters of the house. Okay? And there's another Ikadam that says matters of Olam Haba, you don't listen to her, but matters of Olam Hazeh, you do listen to her. Yeah. She knows more about the kids than you do. She knows she has a good intuition, better intuition than we do. Right? So when my wife says, I don't like this person, I always get annoyed because I know it's not going to end well. You know what I mean? Like I'm already involved in the guy and I'm doing business with him and she said she doesn't like him. Like now, I know it's going to end up being a problem. And she's literally right 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10.
Bini Yasera.
Huh?
They have Bini Yasera.
Yeah. They have a certain bina that they're able to intellect that they can understand. So that's what the Gemara says. The kasher though, we have the Zera Shimshon has a question on this Gemara. Ma lashon nofel b'gehinam. Why does it say that he falls to Gehinam? It should say yoresh.
Right.
Like be careful what it says. Besofo yoresh to Gehinam. What does yoresh mean? Acquire? No, or inherits. He inherits Gehinam. Why did the Gemara choose the word? Why did the Gemara choose the word nofel?
What's the difference?
Fall.
What's the difference?
It's a difference. Fall is shogeg. Yoresh, you acquired it.
But it's the fall is also for Yerusha. When you talk about Ele Nochalim, Velo Nochalim, then Nofel Bechalko is like a lottery. I'm just saying it is connected.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not leaving. I'm just standing up.
It's okay. So look what the Maharsha says. The Maharsha says, it seems that the Maharsha is saying that what we wrote in Avot, Ve'al tabeh sicha im ha'isha, one of my favorite Mishnayot, says don't talk so much to women. We all know that part by heart. But beishto amru, that part we don't get.
Yeah, there's one big, very successful billionaire who brings his wife to every single business meeting where he's making a decision to go with this person, and he takes them out for a meal, and she's always at the meal, and she's the final say.
Okay. That's bina itera.
And he's always successful.
But it's talking about al tabeh simha isha one-on-one. I mean, you can't talk to your wife too much without getting to an argument. I can't. I 15 minutes is my limit. I don't know. 50. I'm not joking. You can ask her. Even with my daughters.
Pretty good 15 minutes.
What?
That's pretty
Pretty
good.
good, right?
I'm more than 10 seconds. Sorry.
Because how much time can you listen to?
What
You're
can
no
you say?
good.
No, there's only so much you could say. I don't have that many. Whatever. I want to continue the dialogue.
They want to
That's what I need
talk.
to say.
They want to talk.
They have nine forms of.
You let them
they got
listen. You listen. That's the advice.
So look. So it says Al tibei sihay ma'isha
Don't say,
v'ishto
don't
amru
say.
dehainu afilu b'deverim hamutarim asur
She's
la'avot
watching
tzibah.
on Instagram.
What is which one?
We wished her happy birthday.
Mine is on Instagram.
She was on it one time.
They want to
So look, listen. It's
They got the Energizer bent, Bunny, with the extra battery in the thing here. That they want to talk.
So look,
They
what
got to
it says.
talk.
Listen to what. Remember, we want to understand what's the difference between Pekah Avot and why the Gemara said no fail, you're gonna fall. So it says, listen, guys, come on. I'll wrap up soon. Al tabeh sihay ma'isha is talking about specifically his wife. Afilu devarim hamutarim asur lehabot sicha. Even things that are mutar, it's asur to talk, keep talking with her. ואם כן, אף לשמוע עצת אשתו במילא דביתה צריך למעט. So he's saying, the Maharsha, or the Zera Shimshon is saying that even listening to the wife's advice, you should lema'et it. You shouldn't extend it for 20 minutes. Like, get to what she wants to say. Take her advice. You don't just say it in a few words and say what it is. Say yes or no. You like the guy? You don't like the guy? You want me to go here? Where are we going for Shabbat? Just tell me quick. Because if you go too long, it's a problem. Why is it a problem? Because from Devarim that are Mutad, comes the Asur. Which means what? Even though it's not Devar Asur, in Kozeh Yesh Lahush, you have to be respectful. Pen lest Mina Mutar Yavo Al Isur. Mishumachi Aman Nofel. This is what he means in Nofel. Why did the Gemara say Nofel? Because he's Nofel Beisur that he didn't feel it happening. He wasn't careful not to talk too much with the wife, which in turn ended him going to Isur.
It's like a honest.
And now he fell into Gaon.
Right.
That's what he said. It's like it's like you don't know. You went too long.
Slippery slope.
A simpler slope.
And some of the Mefarshim, by the way, explain the reason that the Torah were matir shivha kirani to an eved. Why is it? We talked about this before. Why is if you acquire an eved divri, you're allowed to give him a shivha kirani.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
And the kinder belong to you.
But when you allowed to? Only when the guy is already married.
To a Jewish girl?
Yes.
So that
Yes. The guy can't be single. The Gemara says why also? Because we don't want the guy to just get into trouble just so he can get married to some NKG and he could be with a non-Jewish girl. So the guy's got to be married. Why marry? Why is there a problem?
Who has to be married?
The guy who wants to be Eved Ivri that's worked for you for 6 years and stole from you and he doesn't have the money. He's got to be a married man.
Otherwise, he can't be sold.
Cannot be. No.
So what happens to
I don't know. Stay true to
So
Revi. I don't know.
wait, so that Jewish that you said that he loves this woman and the kids doesn't stand now because really he
he's
has a
already got
wife.
another family.
He's saying he has a wife.
Right.
That's it.
He has to have a wife
back
first.
home.
And what is it? But look at this chidush.
Could he refuse to be married during his abdut?
No, he's an Eved. He cannot be.
He has to
cannot
listen
refuse.
to his Adon?
Yeah, okay,
So the Adon wants the kids.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Well, you don't do the time if you can't. Don't do the crime. You can't do the time. The guy obviously did it because remember we also went why Daf after 6 years because we want to know if his kavanah was good or not. The guy this guy why the ozin? Because we talked about that the ozin that you have to be careful what you listen to because even devarim mutarim will lead you to devarim asurim. And why does the guy have to dafka be married? Because what did he steal in the first place?
Jewelry.
For the wife. By the way, I'm sure most of you could live, myself including, with a whole lot less than what we have. But the wives want what they want. We work for them. We do. My wife told me what she goes. Why can't we have this? Well, I go because you married a deadbeat dad. I told her. I go, what do you want to tell
What?
Not only is it exactly like that, it's a miracle where Kodesh Baruch Hu, where did this money come from?
Always.
I need a new kitchen. I need this. I gotta get the shelf.
So my wife
up
said
here.
she wants something. So I said, okay, let's see. I'm thinking in my head, I want to see how she's going to pull this one off.
Right.
Because I don't have the money for it.
But it comes forward to make
it happens. They have the way. But I'm saying, I want to see how she pulls this one off. Like, if we don't have it, where's she going to get this from? Like,
That's why he's choosing to become a slave. That's
why he's choosing to become a slave.
He's not choosing. He became a slave because he listened to his wife.
He already was a slave.
He was always a slave. Mistama halak ligno v'shtilah. Went to go steal for his
He
wife.
didn't say Shalah Sani Yobed of enough.
It was a slave for his wife. I mean, it was a slave for his wife.
Shalah Sani Rabbi.
Listen, come on, give me 10 more minutes, boys. 10 more minutes.
Take your time. We're just warming up. What?
So listen. The whole reason, you understand, he stole for her.
Yeah.
So therefore he has to be married. Why? Because what is he? That's why social media is poison. Social media is poison because everybody sees the pictures, everybody's smiling. I'm gonna tell you something. Every picture that I myself is in, that I'm smiling with my family, I was yelling before I don't want to take the picture. I actually took a video tonight of this saying, trying to rearrange how we're going to take the pictures to that. And as they all do it, I put my phone on record. So we had the thing, okay, no, hey, don't touch me.
That's what you shared?
And then,
You shared that to your family?
I did. I
And
said,
someone
guys,
kept
good
cheese.
one. And then after
And
everyone's perfect. Do me a favor, you want to take a picture, take a real life picture. You
Everyone
understand?
beating each other.
That's gotta be an act. That's real. That's
That's why I love the photo. That's why I love the only painting, the photograph of the stifler. He looks like he's gonna give you a frost. Look at the picture of the
That's like a
stifler.
pot, sure.
I would be afraid to go in there and ask him any question, Rebbe. Can I ask you? He looks in that picture like, oh, I'm going to be afraid.
Warm up with the Mona Lisa.
No, the Lubavitcher Rebbe is always smiling.
But you understand the point? The point is that the ear that you allow to think, you let it go, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay? The en isha, like it says in the Gaon Megillah, en isha mitkanet ela
Telling you why
b'yerech
the ear.
hameta.
Telling you why the ear gets hit.
That's why the ear gets
Not
hit.
because he heard Allah Hashem
That's,
Elokecha.
no, he's saying no. Why
Because he
not?
listened to your wife.
Because you stole, lo tignov.
No, it's because he
why
listened to his
you-
wife.
Too much.
That's why then he
You
did
listen
it.
to your wife. You listen to me.
How much?
You listen to
How
your
much?
wife. You do not. How much is the question?
How much?
How much? The Gemara in Pesachim says, well, 3 people. What if 3 people?
צריך למעט.
One of them.
צריך למעט.
One of them is the guy that's owned by his wife. His wife makes all the decisions. That's what it is.
Spurs fan, yeah, the Man U fan, you know?
Look at Rebbe.
בשביל ששמע הרבה יותר מדי, בשביל ששמע הרבה יותר מדי לעצת אשתו, מן המותר בא לידי ייסוד, וכן ירצה באוזנו. That's why he got hit in the ear. שהיה לו ללמוד, he should have learned משם, להתרחק מן המותר. He should have learned what it says in Pirkei Avot. How many people go in debt to own a house? They want, right? Just to make her happy. Okay, because why? Because she wants. Why does she want it? Because a friend has it.
What, to buy a house?
This house. They want what they want. So they want what they want. So because he should have been known to not talk so much to the wife, to hear how much she wants things, which ends up going out and now causing him to do this. That's why the ear that got him in trouble in the first place. That's why the ozen that heard lo tignov is the one that you should have listened to. Cover your ear closer and talk to your wife less, not too much. Because now if you hear too much, now you're gonna do something that's from mutar.
This is his chidush.
Yes. Yes.
So he's going into Avdut because the life of not being married is easier than married life.
No, you are a slave the day you got married.
Right.
The day you proposed, really.
Right.
The
Then
day
you
you
wrote that
proposed.
contract.
Why does he want to stay with the
then you
new
took
wife?
out-
And you
took
had
out a
to
loan
bring
to
2
buy a house.
friends
This
to
guy.
stay.
Because here he doesn't
You're
have to
not
go
getting
steal
out of
anymore.
this.
He doesn't have to
Not
steal
getting out.
anymore. Now he's a good boy. He's working like a
It's
good
not.
boy.
It's not the right thing. All right, you guys want to give me 5 more minutes? Another inyan about
Yeah.
Okay,
the
let's,
Go.
Sure.
we'll do a new
Yeah.
session on this.
Take your time. We just warmed up.
We just warmed up.
Keep saying that.
He's right.
I know.
This is the whole
I
fun of the
find-
week.
I finally got the most comfortable chair in the